This is going to be another fit dude, gym dude, vlog guy, just like recording his day-to-day habits. I am going to a patisserie because they sell very good coffee. So I'm just gonna have a short black before I work out. This isn't normal, by the way. I feel like I've been like a caffeine fiend for freaking years. And I think I'm just like in love with pre-workout more than what pre-workout does, like for the workout. Like, you know, you get like enough beta alanine and you're just like, and then like when you're actually working out, it doesn't really do much except make you sweaty and itchy, but doesn't actually give you energy. So I'm trying to like only have caffeine when I need it or when I'm really sad. Anyway, so I'm just gonna jump in, grab a short black, enjoy the sun for like 5 minutes, and then today I'm gonna do like a posterior day. So like a back and hamstring kind of, obviously calves are involved in that kind of day. I usually do like a 4-day week with upper lower. But it's officially 13 days till our big trip to Europe and Canada. So I just want to get like some training in, just like declutter the mind a little bit and just lift some heavy things. Whoa, this guy's just up my ass. That's pretty cool, bro. Anyway, I think when it comes to training, like obviously most PTs and coaches are trying to sell you on the concept of the structured approach, obviously. Like, and I think it's just on the mind of like, we have a system in which you can utilize so that like your goals can be like process orientated. Like you can actually achieve what you need to achieve through ticking boxes. And obviously we're always going to talk about like motivation being important and like trying to find a goal to work towards and maybe start smaller and then get bigger from there, right? Like if you've got like a 6-month goal, maybe start from the actions you need to facilitate in like a month. But I feel like there's times in your training and nutrition and your like quote unquote fitness journey where you just need to find a process that you want to rock up to, right? So like for months now, like because I've been training for years, I kind of know the numbers that I need to hit in the gym. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a warm-up set, this is going to be a working set, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't need to like write down those numbers. But like, you know, that's contradictory to like when I coach, I'm just like, I need you to write down those numbers. I think it's when we look at programming, it's innately there so that you can progress every week and you can have a tangible like, oh, look, I'm progressing. I think it's there predominantly so that you can know that what you're doing is actually getting you closer to the goal. But I think I trust the process enough that I'm like, the inevitable goal is to train to a proximity to failure or failure, doing so through adequate warm-up sets and lead sets, etc. And having like adequate carbs and protein throughout the process. Like I have a PT that trains me face-to-face. And so like there's like once a week in which I'm just like, let's go, let's do upper, let's go lower, let's drive even harder than I usually drive. But the point of all of this was just like, I haven't tracked anything for a while. Like I think it's just in my head and I know what I'm doing. So I started off with something novel and got a journal to write on instead, like a gym journal, not a thought mindfulness journal. So that's just been a new approach that I've got. And like, look, all my clients have our app and we utilize that to track habits, nutrition guidelines, and like as well as their exercise program. So then they know that they're actually progressing inside the gym. But yeah, so it's been, what I'm trying to say is like, you can find a process and an approach that you actually enjoy. And sometimes you can like, we're not trying to get off course. We're just trying to find a course that you like, that you can consistently rock up to. But sometimes it's good to just like have a foundation which you can utilize throughout the course. Even if that means that sometimes you're on a bike and sometimes you're on a car, you're still going forward, right? So coaching yourself, getting a coach, et cetera, being strict, being lenient, being restrictive. Inevitably, as long as the course you take is leading you to where you need to go, like you can stay in a program for ages, you can get on a logbook for ages, you can intuitively eat for a while if you're educated enough to know what you need to do. As long as you find a process you actually enjoy that leads you where you need to go. I guess this whole tangent is literally just like, restrictions important. Like the other day, like if someone's like, oh, let's go to the shops. And you're like, cool, I'm gonna go to the shops. And you have a path in your head that you go to, like a road that you take to go there. But when it comes to goals and stuff, everyone's just like, oh, why are you being restrictive, man? Like, why are you doing this? And it's like, but you've never asked, like, why do you take the longest route to go to the shops? It just makes no sense to me. Yeah. Oh, please don't tell me you're closing. Oh, good. Okay, they're just cleaning up. Yes, they are, thank God. I don't really need the coffee, but I like to have like a routine before I work out. And so, like, any kind of caffeinated beverage, I'm just like, this is going to set up such a good... And bloody hell, the weather is fantastic today. So a little like short black in the sun. Let's go. All right, see you guys in there. I lied, it wasn't a short black, it was a long macchiato, but very good, very good. Happy about that. Fuck. Oh, that was very good. There's definitely something to say about like the energy you need to put into your day-to-day life, right? There's structures that need to be in place. You are conditioned to either work or you either wake up early to work and you have someone to tell you, you know, that you need to get to work. You need to look after your kids, you need to do these things, and there's a consequence if you don't, right? Like, you don't go to work, you don't get paid, you don't look after your kids. Obviously bad things happen, right? Training's one of those things where there's no like immediate consequence. And I'm not gonna be that guy that's like, bro, you gotta find discipline, bro. I'm hyped for anyone that like finds time. It's not even finds time in their day to like work out. It's more like sets up their life to get themselves inside the gym and then does what needs to get done outside the gym to maintain, sustain, or progress in their like physique, fitness, or health lifestyle. Why I'm saying this is like my life as a PT is like, you know, I don't have it good because I worked for it, right? Like I chose the life of running my own business. I chose the life that like I have to like work to get paid and I have to do the work, not like if I don't like rock up, I don't get paid. I don't have a boss that like holds me accountable. I don't get like a stable income and stable process. I have to make the structure myself. You know, what was me bullshit. But so with that, like I still have to like show up. I still have to, you know, work hard. I still have to find time in my day to work out, walk, eat, shower, like do admin, do the things that needs to be done to go forward in my life, set goals for my clients and like achieve my own goals and outcomes as well, right? So once again, I go on these tangents and get to the point, is that like on the weekend, I'm usually like, go, go, go. But this weekend, I was like, I'm going to take my time. There's no point in rushing it right now. Like our goal is to go to Europe and Canada. Like we've done what we can do. We control the variables that we can control. Those we can't, we're like, cool. Like we set them aside and we go, we've tried our best to do what needs to be done. So everything's achieved in that point and now I can just like calm. So today is like start my first blog, have a short black, enjoy the sun, and then get into training. I don't usually train on the weekends unless I'm like, oh my God, my week's got to be busy, but I might still train on the weeks and have this day as a bonus. So with all that, point being, find a structure that you can rock up to because like the point is to take away the energy that you can put into your family and your work life and stuff like this. Like it's just like, oh, I get to go to the gym, I get to train, I get to eat well, instead of going, fuck, I need to find time to do those things. 9 times out of 10, if you can just like look at energy as like money and be like, every time I think about needing to go to the gym, thinking about needing to eat well, thinking about moving, it's costing you more and it's cheaper in the long run to just be like, I get to do this. I got to proactively plan it so that I can actually rock up to the gym without thinking, fuck, I'm exhausted and fuck, how do I have time? All right, meet you guys in there. All right, so because I don't usually do, oh, there's like a plant on top of here. Because I don't usually do an posterior upper / lower day, I don't actually have a program written down for this. But the point of this is just like, I know I'm going to write down the exercise that I'm doing, because inevitably I'll be like, oh, I've done these exercises in the past, and I can just go back and be like, oh yeah, it's an RDL. Like next lower day, I'll look back and be like, oh yeah, like this is the weight that I have to pick, and this is how I'm going to progress in this because of the weight that I've utilized in the past. So I'm going to do a posterior day, so that's hamstring, back focus. So I'm probably just going to figure out what that looks like. It's like hella contradictory to like what I'm trying to like get out of clients, is just like I want them to have the structured process, but right now I'm just like, I have a structure in the essence of I know the exercises, I know the loads, etc. Kind of just like enjoying the process throughout. So I'm just gonna write down what it is. I'll let you guys know what that looks like. It's definitely something to be said about accountability. I'm not talking about like, oh, you got to find someone to hold you accountable or whatever. I think it requires a bit more nuance to that, where it's just like, if you can find a thing, a tool, a logbook, a camera to hold you accountable, then you should. I think inevitably in the world we live in, money tends to be the thing that holds most people accountable. It's like we just talked about, right? Where it's like, you go to work, and the only reason you go to work is if you don't, then you won't get paid. There's a consequential thing, right? It's the same reason, like, you got the risk to reward ratio of where you drive past a red light. You're just like, is it going to cost me more to be 15 minutes late to work, or is it going to cost me more to get this like fine from crossing the red light? And so right now, a lot of people are training, but they're not thinking, like they've got a goal in mind, right? They've got an outcome they want to reach, but then the process towards that outcome, it's like, oh, well, I just need to work out, I just need to eat a little bit better and stuff. Not thinking that there's some tangible processes that need to be ticked towards the goal. It's like, oh, I need to eat more protein. What does that look like? I got to eat more veg. What does that look like? I need to train more. What does that look like? Not in the essence of like, what does your training also look like, but how many days a week you go to the gym, et cetera, et cetera. But then it's also like, okay, I got to train. I could do upper, lower, full body, or bro split or whatever. And then it's also like, okay, cool. We've ticked that box. Okay, are you doing the movement right? It's like, oh, let's go even more basic. What are those movements? And then write down those movements. And then it's like, okay, what do those movements start and finish? What do they look like? Is it like a bicep curl's pretty easy, right? It's like I need an extension of the elbow, and then I need to curl forearm to bicep. Cool. Like now I know what the start and the end looks like. So now I can know when I'm training failure, right? So I'm no longer capable of facilitating that capacity, and then involuntarily slows down. So we get even deeper into that. So when I look at accountability, it's not just like, hey, I need to like rock up or something bad's going to happen. I need to either record my workouts and see if I'm doing it properly. I need to tell a friend that I'm doing the thing, or I need to do a 30-day challenge and then see the end result and see how much I've gotten out of it. Or I hire a coach and then I pay them and then I rock up. So right now for me, like my personal trainer isn't there to hold me accountable. It's pretty much there to see if I'm doing the movement properly or training a more intense capacity, in which I'm currently doing by myself. And when I'm by myself, I'm either recording what I'm doing or I'm writing down what I'm doing, so that I can look back and be like, oh, did I actually facilitate proper progressive overload? So if you get anything out of this, it's like record what you're doing in any capacity, like program, like writing it down, record your videos to see if you're doing it properly. Accountability can be to hold yourself accountable. Yeah. checking the microphone's on. Yep. The whole point of this whole bloody blog was to talk about the shit that most people miss in regards to their training. Obviously, when we get down packed, the eating and the actual capacity to get to the gym and get to a point in your training in which you feel like you're missing something. You're just like, oh, should I add more to something? Should I be eating more? Should I be, is there like a secret that I don't know about? And I think what most people get in their head is that I have to lift more, I have to do more. Instead of doing what you're doing, just do it properly. So when I look at movement, there's 4 stages of a movement. You got like the hold here, the pull, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the cadence that actually needs to be done throughout that whole 4 of those stages. So when I look at this, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 stages. I want you to hold this stage for a second, pull here as fast as you can, hold that stage for a second, and 2 second negative. That's the stage in which everyone keeps forgetting about is pull hard, hold the contraction, take your time in that length of position, hold that length position for a second, then pull through. I think when you start to look at movement as 4 stages, you start to recognize how many fibers you might be missing, how much load you're actually just heaving, in contrast to actually controlling. And I think at the end of the day, if we break it down even to a macro level, the goal is mechanical tension, and mechanical tension is involuntarily slowing down in the movement. But then it's like, okay, what is slowing? Slowing means that we understand how fast it was. And a cadence allows us to have a standard in which we follow. And if that's standard or cadence is involuntarily slowing down, we're actually reaching our goal of a proximity to failure through involuntarily slowing down. So start holding it as hard as position, start controlling it throughout the whole movement, and pull as hard as you can through the concentric phase, and you get more out of the movement. To continue the conversation about cadence being important, some exercises, they have the fancy word called resistance profile, in which pretty much dictates where it's heaviest and where it's lightest. And so how we can mitigate that, like that point in which you're just like, fuck it, I can get really deep in this part, I can get really long in this part, but once I get to the opposite part, I can no longer do it without faltering. So then we try to initiate just a lengthen hold. So from a lying leg hold perspective, it would look like you're extending your knee all the way, from like a lat pull down kind of view, to hold that position as long as you, like for a second, just to coordinate what actually turns on, what turns off. So just really get involved in like actually controlling the heaviest part of the movement, getting that lengthen hold. Not because it's some kind of like secret to actually what's the most gains. And it's like, we talk about that all the time with the new research, the past couple of years, where it's like, oh, lengthened partials is the best thing. It's just like, I think it's just, if we can control the heaviest position, instead of missing that position, we'll actually get stronger, and then we'll actually progressively overload, and we actually improve our physique. So if you ever stuck hitting plateaus, then maybe start thinking about what am I missing? Am I not driving the movement fast enough, hard enough? Or am I just skipping the heaviest parts and hoping that through bouncing at the bottom or through not holding in the hardest part, I'll get stronger? And once again, it's not about trying to get stronger. It's about progressing every couple of weeks, and through that, you'll be able to see a change in physique. And that will be through actually getting stronger. So. While we're still touching on rep cadence, one of the 4 parts of rep cadence is a shortened position or just right after the contraction. So think about like with a leg extension, right? It's like you're at the bottom, knee all the way flexed, and then you go all the way top, extending your knee. So certain movements have, it's heavy in that position, right? Like we just did a lying leg curl, so it's gonna be heavier in that position. We're about to do a leg extension, gets heavier in that position. But let's think about like a squat, for instance, right? Or a leg press. The shortened position is where it's at its lightest. So certain exercises, it's actually heaviest in its in its shortened position, and like lighter in its lengthened position. But before we even get too deep into it, it's just like, look, certain muscles are stronger in those positions. The short position, certain muscles are weaker in those positions. And instead of getting the minutiae of what's more effective, it's probably effective if you hit both. So the goal should be to hit them, hold it for a second, push through. No matter if it's heavy or light in those positions, the goal is always to actually hit them, no matter what. We're gonna do single leg, because I did bilateral a couple days ago. It's gonna be heavy as hell. But we'll probably jump straight into a working set. Oh, maybe not. This is why you record, kids. I haven't recorded single leg for a while. Oh my God. Just have to drop the ego. And get the most out of the movement. Oh my God. All I have in my ears right now is Sebum just grunting while he's working out. So, most of my clients are on full body sessions, because then if they can't get into the gym, at least they can get the most out of their training. You know, right now, for years I've been in an upper lower. I've done the bro split, etc. Today I'm doing obviously a posterior focus, so hamstrings, obviously glutes are involved, and back, predominantly lats. And man, the difference between like training a whole, you know, fuck man, I haven't done a pull day in ages because by the time on my 3rd or 4th exercise, my back is fried, my biceps are fried, everything's kind of fried. But this like, you know, hybrid of upper and lower, I'm still like got the energy to actually like, I'm on my 7th exercise, something like that, and like my arms aren't cooked. So big shout out to full body sessions, because even if you're like slightly cooked, like nervous system wise, you jump onto like a movement that is not like the same body part or whatever, and you're just like, oh, easy. All right, first posterior focus day done. Just defining it that, just because I like to name things, but did a workout, very hyped about it. Learned, I think at the end of the day, like most of training should be like you learn something new for the next time you train. You know, you're like, oh, the form is actually improved because I did this, and then write that shit down. Or I learned this like maybe 6 months ago. I was like, half the time I pretend I've got music in my headphones so that no one speaks to me. I appreciate my clients, but like when you train at the same gym as them, gym as them. You tend to talk more to people at the gym. But anyway, when I'm not listening to music, obviously, I'm like more involved within the movement. I'm thinking more about like how I'm moving, what the end of the set looks like, what the end of the rep looks like. And there's something to be said about being way more involved in what you're doing. Anyway, I digress as usual. Really good session. I don't want to beep on camera. When we, because of the posterior day, look, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna do like a pump check, to be honest. I don't take any pump formula or anything, especially today being like, I had a fucking long macchiato before I worked out, so ain't no carbs in this system to like get a sick pump, except the brownie that I ate this morning. But posterior day, I tend, like, you can't really see anything, right? Like, you go to the mirror and you're just like, oh, well, back looks jacked, hamstring looks great, but I can't really see anything. And I don't want to do that in my first video, just me taking my shirt off and my shorts off and be like, look at this, bro. It's way too hairy for that. Anyway, session complete. Now time to go home, eat, get some sun, maybe edit this, who knows. Like I said at the start of the video, more of a slow day today. Thank the heavens for that. And go from there. Woo!